Hello there, Professor Warsi here. I have another lesson on prepositions for you. We have learned nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. We have 3 more parts of speech to learn. Today's lesson is on prepositions, understanding how to use them in English. So let's get started. What's a preposition? A preposition shows a relationship between nouns, pronouns, and other words. Some examples of prepositions are in, on, at, between, beside, and during. Okay? So look at the example. The road to paradise is covered with good deeds. Now, good is an adjective, and deeds is a noun. And the preposition that comes before them is with. I've given you lots of examples of prepositions. You need to study them carefully, remember what these are, and then when you read, pay attention to how they're used in a sentence. So there are 4 types of things that pronouns do. That they indicate to the reader the location of a noun, the time something happens, the direction in which someone is moving or driving, and relationships between 2 people or 2 objects. So can you identify the prepositions in 1 and 2? What are the prepositions? The book is on the table, and please don't tell anyone this is between you and me. Okay, so do this in a few seconds. It's not that hard, and I'll show you the answers. Okay, did you get it right? Did you identify on and on the table? That's a preposition. And between you and me, between there is a preposition. Okay, great. So you may be wondering why we need to use prepositions in English, correct? As I mentioned before, prepositions clarify a location or a certain time and direction. For example, she walked across the bridge. The word across is a preposition. It shows the direction in which the person was walking. Okay. The department meeting is at 2 p.m. What time? It's at 2 p.m. Or we had dinner, or we're having dinner at a Chinese restaurant in Bayside. So where are we having dinner? At a Chinese restaurant. Okay? Now you just learn 2 things, that location and time and directions are used in prepositions, and I've given you examples as well how to use at before a noun, in this case a Chinese restaurant. So can you do the exercise now? There are 4 sentences that are missing the prepositions. So all I need you to do is read each sentence carefully and write the correct preposition in the blanks. Okay? All right, these are the answers, and I hope that you're really doing well. You will have a chance to review this lesson again, so not to worry if you didn't get some of the answers correct. Okay, so types of prepositions: place, time, direction, and agent. So when you are referring to a place, you can say at, in, and on. So for example, you can say I left my house key in the car. Where? In the car, which is a place. Or we met somewhere after 4 o'clock. Time. Correct? John worked at Microsoft before joining Apple. Again, time. Direction, going towards something. To, from, across. As in, it takes 4 hours to drive from New York, where I live, to Boston. So agent, by, with. Agent is a person who does something. Okay? Well, in this case, Maria is not the agent. It's the car that hit Maria. Maria was hit by a car. Okay? So try to do the exercises. There are 4 sentences with prepositions. So you have 2 things to do. First, identify the preposition, and then write the type of preposition they are. Like the book is on the shelf before class. If you recognize the preposition, what type of preposition is it? Is it a place preposition, or a time, or a direction, or an agent preposition? Okay? And here are the answers. Okay, did you get everything right? Let's move on. there are prepositions of place also. For example, in, on, at, under, between, next to something. These prepositions tell the reader or the listener where something is located, such as the cat is sleeping under the bed, or the post office is next to the pharmacy. Okay? So do number 1, 2, and 3. Just place each item in the correct location. The car is blank the garage. Okay? So let's complete this exercise before I show the answers. All right. So we've studied prepositions of place, and now it's time to study prepositions of time. So at what time something happens, let's say a meeting or dinner or a class that you're studying, and these prepositions are usually at or on or in. Banks usually open at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. So that at preposition tells the time. They met on Monday. When, like what date? They met on Monday, October 10th. I'll be back in 6 hours. A long period. Okay? Complete the exercise before we move on to the next slide. Fill in the blanks with the correct prepositions. Okay, here are the answers. I hope that you are pausing the video to complete the exercise before you see the answers. Okay? Because it's important for you to learn. So try not to look at the answers. Complete the exercise by yourself. Okay, then there are prepositions of direction. The direction in which somebody moves toward or away from. Okay? We walked across the bridge. So we basically crossed the bridge. The river flows into Arabian Sea. So the river is flowing in the direction of Arabian Sea. Or drive towards Long Island and take, someone is giving you directions, right? They say, oh, drive toward Long Island and take exit 54 to go to Dix Hills. So that's also giving directions. Use the correct preposition of direction in the sentences below. And I'll show you the answers. Okay, so here are the answers. Next up, prepositions of agent. Now, agent, as I explained to you before, if you still remember, is either a person or something that does something or carries an action out. So there are 2 examples of agents, by and with. The book was written by the author. Okay? And that's a very famous painter. His name was Picasso. He was a Spanish from Spain. 2 sentences. The painting was made blank Picasso. The thieves opened the glass door blank a crowbar. Can you write the correct preposition in the blanks? Try it. Did you get the answers correct? These are the 2 prepositions. Okay, so moving on. Common prepositional phrases. So sometimes a preposition comes before a noun to function as a unit, like at home or in the car. Oh, I left my bag in the car. Or we walked by the river. Okay? So in the exercise below, read the sentences and identify the prepositional phrases that are usually a combination of a preposition and a noun or a pronoun. Do you want to see the answers now? Okay. Here are the answers. I hope you identify the prepositional phrases correctly. Okay, moving on. Prepositions in questions. And this is actually interesting. Who are you talking to? So when you use prepositions, okay, you can change that, convert them into questions also. So for example, if somebody says to you, you're looking blank at the picture, obviously the preposition is missing there. You can change that into a question by saying, are you looking at the picture? Are you looking at the picture? At. Are you looking at the picture? So read numbers 1 and 2 below and First, you have two tasks. First, write the correct preposition in a blank, and then change the sentence into a question. Okay? Okay, here are the answers. All right? Or you will speak to her about your relationship. That's a sentence. Will you speak to her about your relationship? That becomes a question. Yes? Okay. Sometimes prepositions may look similar, but they are not quite similar, such as in and on, or by, or with, or for, and since. Okay? Well, try this. I want to make this a little bit challenging rather than telling you what the answers are. I'd like you to try this exercise. The book is blank, the table. Let's see if we can use the correct prepositions. In each case, there are 6 sentences, okay? And all I can tell you at this point is that they have in, on, by, with, for, since. Okay, let's have fun. Try to do the exercise and I'll show you the answers in a bit. Here are the answers. So far, so good. How are you doing? You're doing well? Okay. So now some prepositions are used with adjectives. They come after adjectives, such as I'm interested in something, or she's really good at art. So examples are Preeti and Mohan are interested in classical music, or he's good at drawing, or he's afraid of heights. He's really scared of heights. Okay? Do the exercise that we have been doing this. Do the exercise, match the adjective with prepositions. What would you put in the blanks? She is interested, blank art. Okay? Okay, these are the answers for your reference. All right? And as I said before, if you're still confused, if you're not quite getting it, then you can always rewind the lesson and go back and see the answers. So study with me. Let's move on. Prepositions with verbs. So we just learned that, so-and-so is good at something. So that's an adjective followed by a preposition. In this case, there will be verbs that are followed by prepositions. Some examples are, she relies on her friends. She depends on her friends. Correct? They listened to classical music. So this is important. Rely on, listen to, explain to. All right? These are verbs that are followed by prepositions. So let's do the exercise. Right? She's waiting for her friend, for example. Do numbers 1, 2, and 3. Again, pause the video here, and then I'll show you the answers. All right? Okay. Here are the answers. I hope you're doing really well. So just keep working hard. Prepositions are tricky because sometimes students can, get confused between in and on. So rather than saying in the course, they may say on the course, which is incorrect. So that's why it's important to learn prepositions. Moving on. Some errors. I just gave you one. I said on the course, which should be in the course. Some errors. Between versus among, or in versus on. Between means it's a comparison between two people. It could be two cultures, two countries, two objects, two places. So she's among her friends. And among means more than two, just like these girls here. 1, 2, 3. So that's among. You couldn't say she's between her friends. That would be incorrect. Okay? So can you correct these prepositions in the sentences below? She's sitting among two chairs. The pass rate between college students is extremely low. So these are all wrong, incorrect sentences. I need you to change the prepositions and make them grammatically correct. Okay? Do the exercise now. And here are the answers. How did you do? Are you doing well so far? Great. Let's move on and wrap up today's lesson. Okay, this was a very important lesson for you to learn prepositions, time, place, directions, agent. So there are 4 types of prepositions. And what's the key takeaway for you? That you must use prepositions correctly to enhance clarity and meaning, right? The sentences should be clear to the reader, and the reader should be able to understand the meaning of your sentences if you use the preposition correctly. Okay. Now I need you to do this exercise. Fill in the blanks with correct prepositions. This will take you a few minutes. Do not rush. You have just learned something new. You've internalized the rules of prepositions, how to use them, how they function in sentences, and now is time for you to put it to the test, as they say. So I'll stop, you complete the exercise, and I'll show you the answers. Okay, here are the answers. Did you get all of the answers correct? Okay, the first one is in the park, after school, and so on and so forth. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. We are done with 6 parts of a speech. The next 2 lessons I will be uploading soon are on conjunctions and interjections. So we have done 6, and I'm really proud of you for studying hard with me from nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, and prepositions. So 2 more to go. Stay the course, and we will get through this. Okay? Always, practice makes perfect, so keep reading, keep writing, keep speaking, using the prepositions correctly. And the more you live in English, the more English will live in you. All right? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.